Hi. In class today, we began talking about the Bill of Rights. And so we did a lot of work today with the Bill of Rights. The first part was an entry ticket, and that entry ticket is available for you on the lesson plan page for this day. That question, that entry ticket, asked you to think about what protections you think are most important. We then discussed why you think they are most important, and do you, and why which one you think is most important, and why you think it is most important. From there, we talked about that our founders of our country did this same thing. They created this um, list of rights. And there was a lot of discussion over whether to do this. There were people known as anti-federalists who are most famously represented by Thomas Jefferson. And they wanted a list of guaranteed rights. They thought the Constitution gave too much power to the president. They were concerned that he would become a monarch. They wanted to make sure that people's rights were ensured. And so they pushed for a list of rights for the people. And then there were famous Federalists who really thought the Constitution was enough. They thought they should not be a list of rights. Most famously is Alexander Hamilton. And they were concerned if you started to make a list of rights, you wouldn't be able to include everybody's right, all of their rights. And so they pushed against having a long list of rights. So they reached this compromise. They made a short list. It's only 10, and they are the first 10 amendments to our Constitution. And those first 10 amendments are known as the Bill of Rights. And they focus on things like individual freedoms, protection against the government, and the rights of the people accused of a crime. Since then, there have been 17 other amendments or changes to the Constitution. So we have a total of 27, 10 in the Bill of Rights, and then 17 others. More amendments are proposed every year, but they don't pass very often. It's very, very rare for an amendment to be added to the Constitution. So the first 10 amendments are listed here, and you can look at these in a little more detail, pausing this video. But the First Amendment is the freedom of speech, religion, press, the right to peaceably assemble. That is our First Amendment rights. The Second Amendment is the right of people to keep and bear arms. This one has to do with owning weapons. The third is about quartering soldiers, so not being required to have a soldiers housed in your house. The fourth is about unreasonable searches and seizures, that the government can't just take things from you. They can't just come and search your house. They have to have a warrant. They have to have a reason to do that. The fifth is that no person shall serve as a witness against themselves. So maybe you've heard of somebody pleading the fifth, saying that they don't need to incriminate themselves. The Sixth Amendment is that everybody is guaranteed a speedy and public trial. So a trial has to be in the public. It has to be relatively quickly from the time that you are arrested for something. The rights of a jury trial shall be preserved. So you have the right to be tried by your peers. It's not that just a single judge can make that decision. If you go to trial, you can have a trial by jury. The Eighth Amendment is about cruel and unusual punishment and excessive bail, so that we are restricted from, the government's restricted from giving cruel and unusual punishment to people. The Ninth Amendment is that there are other rights that people have, and they may not be listed here, but we just want to recognize that there are other rights that people and individuals have in our country. And the 10th Amendment is that in the whole Constitution, it talks about lots of powers that the federal government has, but if it's not listed in the federal government, in the Constitution, then it is a state power. Okay, so like education, it doesn't talk anywhere in the Constitution about education, so education is run by the states. From there, students worked together in teams, and I'm going to go back here to show you what your assignment is. Students worked in teams to, sorry, I'm struggling here a little bit. Students worked in teams to complete this amendment group quiz. So in this amendment group quiz, you are assigned a protection. So something like, people shall have the right to own weapons. And you need to look back at the Bill of Rights, and I've got a sample Bill of Rights there for you, and I'll show you in a second. And you need to figure out what amendment that fits with. So in this case, it's the Second Amendment. So you would look at the Bill of Rights and go, oh, the right to own weapons, that's covered by the Second Amendment. And then you'll move on to the next question. There are 10 questions. This is not graded, it is for practice, but I want you thinking about what protection is listed under which amendment. Okay? And so, again, you're not going to be able to do that without seeing the Bill of Rights. So right here is a student-friendly version of the Bill of Rights, which you can review and you can look at. So you can see the first 10 amendments are listed here. And then there are 5 other amendments I want you to be familiar with as well. So they're also listed in this document. So this is the tool you're going to use to help you with that quiz. So once you complete that quiz, take a look, see how you did. It'll show you the correct answers. Go back and reflect on that. And let me know if you have any questions. We'll be continuing with the Bill of Rights on Thursday and Friday by discussing them some more and then playing the game, Do You Have a Right? If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know and have a great day.